Hey, everybody. Happy Monday night. I'm Jennifer. I'm an Emerald Ambassador with Plexus, and I am going to turn it over to our guest tonight, which is Rachel. She and we met at our first Emerald Extravaganza in Maui in 2018. We were in awe, and we could tell by each other's facial expressions that it was our first time there. And we just, we were like just checking everything out. And we ended up just, getting together, my husband and hers, and we just had the best time together. And here we are in 2024. We have been sideline sisters through this. And if you don't have a good sideline sister, you can't have mine. But she is amazing. And I mean, so is Lisa. Lisa's been a great sideline sister of mine. But y'all, she has an amazing story. It's just so funny how she started out. But anyway, I'm gonna let her share, and then at the end, I'm sure we normally open it up for questions, and then I will be giving away a prize. So you have to stay on until the end. All right, Rachel.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much just for the opportunity to share and really totally fun random fact. Lisa and I chatted a couple weeks ago and realized that her husband grew up like 5 minutes from where I live. So that was like fun little moment. But thank you so much. And yes, Jennifer and I hit it off in 2018. And that's part of what I love about this journey are just the connections and the relationships you make along the way. So I'm going to share a little bit tonight of just a couple highlights of my product story and business story, things that you can store away in your mind. So if you're talking to somebody and you're like, oh, that girl Rachel said that, let me dig up some just as a little tool in your tool belt to hopefully help you on your Plexus journey. And then I want to share a little bit of some thoughts that have been kind of rolling around in my head as a company, how I feel like we are really on the front end of some big momentum and it's really honestly already started. And so just some thoughts I have around that and how you can engage with that and live your business, work your business from a place that's life-giving and doesn't lead to burnout, because it's easy sometimes to enter into that place of striving when we see lots of momentum around us and we feel like we're not quite there. So I'm going to talk about that in a second. But first of all, I started Plexus in September of 2014. I was a stay-at-home mama of three. My youngest baby was 6 months old. My husband was a youth pastor. So clearly income was not high on things happening at my house. So I was literally doing all the things. I was an extreme couponer. I taught other people how to be extreme couponers. I was anything I could do to bring income into my house and not leave my babies, I was doing. I was working at a friend's preschool one day a week. I was like carting other people's kids around. And honestly, guys, it wasn't making a big dent in anything. It just made me feel like I had something to do. And I was constantly praying for an opportunity. And when Plexus came into my life, I was not looking for a network marketing opportunity. I had said no, like many of us probably have. And my mom, first little extra bonus pro tip, my mom was interested in taking the products, and the person she saw posting about Plexus was not answering her. So, pro tip, answer your messages.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I told my mom, I said, you know what? So and so reached out to me a long time ago. I told her no again. And maybe I should just sign up and you can be my customer. And the wheels started turning. And I thought if I could make enough money to pay for my son's preschool, we wouldn't have to be on scholarship. Like that would be so amazing. So I signed up. When you've been in anything for 10 years, you could have lots of bunny trails and lots of stories. So I'm going to try to condense it. But I started the products, and just the takeaways that my personal family had in our first, I want to say 6 months, really blew me away and started the wheels turning on what gut health could really do. So this was back in 2014. So at the time, like all the rage was Slim and Accelerator Plus. There was not a ton of talk about gut health. It was just starting to be all about gut health. And I had no clue what gut health could do. So for me, my hair quit falling out. Like y'all, it was coming out in handfuls at that point. My hair quit falling out. I was extremely addicted to caffeine and sugar. And so when I utilized the tools of Triplex to get that under control, I began to lose weight. I lost about 30 pounds in my first 6 months. I was no longer crashing on the couch. I was able to like be myself and feel like me. And within 6 months, I was like, okay, all of this extra nonsense I'm doing to make money is a waste of my time because I'm making more money in less time with Plexus. And so the compensation plan was a little different then. Um, but anytime, what happens, ladies, when we lose weight, everybody's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? So I'd lost about 15 pounds just in the first couple weeks, which we all know is not always natural or normal. It was natural, but not normal. But it's because I was so addicted to sugar that when my blood sugar got balanced, my body was like, oh, whew, that's what that's supposed to be like. And everybody was asking. So I had a handful of customers. I made $387 in my first month. And I was like, maybe this could be what we've been looking for. And you guys, I want to tell you, it took me 5 months to sign my first person and go silver in February. So, like I said, the compensation plan was different then. So that would be different now. But what I want to tell you on that part, and it'll make sense more in a second. But what I want to tell you on that part is you do not have to have the 6-figure income, the Lexus, all the things to share about the business.
Mhm.
$387 was life changing for me at that point. So as I continued on my journey, I felt like, what am I doing wrong? I signed up at the same time. A lot of the sideline sisters and my bigger diamond team, they were shooting to emerald. And I was like, what am I doing wrong? Like I'm saying what they're saying to say. I'm posting what I'm supposed to be posting. Like, what am I missing? And so I signed up in September. In January, I joined a go for emerald type group. And guys, there was no secret sauce. It's not like I learned something that I was like, oh, that was the missing link. I genuinely learned by action. And really, I look back now and I'm like, Lord have mercy. I can't believe I told somebody that. But we learned by action. We learned by doing the things. And so in February 25th, don't ask me how I remember that, I went silver. And this is the part that I really want you to catch. So I went silver in February. Senior silver didn't exist. I went gold in May and I went senior gold in September. Now, to some people, that might sound slow. To some people, it might sound fast. But the reality was, I didn't have some light bulb moment and become an overnight rock star recruiter. But what I did was I told people, hey, I made $387 in my first month. These are the action steps you need to do to get the cost of your products covered. Do you want to do that? Not everybody did it. Not everybody even answered me, but some people did it. And that is where my momentum and my growth came from. And so I want to encourage you that if you made $100 last month, that's okay. You can say, hey, I made $100 last month and I took my family to dinner and that was such a blessing. Do you want to take your family to dinner? Like, it doesn't have to be. That was a lie I told myself at the time. I pushed through it because that's what people said to do. But a lie I told myself was nobody cares that I made a little bit of money. People want to make the big money. Well, yeah, we all want to make big money, but most people don't think they can make the big money. So sharing along your journey is so key. And it gave me the opportunity to get excited about the business, to see what the possibility was while I learned my skills on recruiting. Recruiting, I am still not a rock star recruiter, guys. Like, I have had months that I've signed lots of people, and I've had months that I haven't. And so developing your skills in each area is so important because I was able to work on my recruiting skills. I recruit more now, 10 years in, than I did then. And so it's not, and that's a whole other call, right? But you don't, whatever lie you are telling yourself as to why you aren't being successful, it is truly that. It is a lie. So I just want to encourage you to, it doesn't matter if somebody said they aren't interested in the business. Every single VIP, you tell them, hey, if you help 3 people use your referral link, you're going to make $300 and that's going to pay for this month's order and next month's order. Are you open to hearing a little bit about how to do that? And you lay it out there and some people will grab that. But if you say like, hey, you can make 6 figures and you can be in Hawaii with me in September, very few people are going to grab hold of that because it seems so far away. But the little bitty steps are what you're able to then slowly build. Then when they add 3, you're like, hey, do you know 3 more people that might want to get in on this? Because you could earn a walking pad and another $100. And then you say, hey, do you think any of those 6 people would want to earn what you've done? And you just one little step at a time, take it and continue growing in that part. So, the last thing that I want to share about my journey before I talk about the momentum part is that anytime, a lot of times on these calls, somebody gets on here, whether they're a jewel or maybe they quickly ranked to gold or maybe they swept the convention contest and we all want to know, what did you do? Like, what did you do to achieve that thing? Right. But product stories, health stories, business stories, they're real life. And in real life, we have mountain moments and we have valley moments. We have high moments and we have hard moments. And it's not fun to talk about the hard moments, but it's fun to talk about the highs and how we did it, right? So I want to encourage you that when you hear somebody talk, don't compare your low moments and your frustrated moments to their high moments, because I promise you, if somebody has the high moments, they have the hard times. So I'm going to share a little snippet of one of my hard moments and a lesson I learned in that, to hopefully help us all work towards the high moments. So in 2017, I was a senior Ruby ambassador. So I ranked senior gold in 1 year. And then 2 years later, I ranked emerald. So a little low moment that I don't love talking about is the month after I ranked emerald, my entire team fell apart. I went all the way down to ruby points, and it took me another 2.5 years to rebuild to emerald, to where I was actually maintaining. So in that meantime, in 2017, I was a senior Ruby ambassador, and my entire family, I now had 4 kids. We left New Jersey. We moved to South Carolina in with my parents, leaving behind all forms of income, and moved in with my parents to help care for her and help care for my mom and what ended up being the last season of her life. We did not expect that that's how that season was going to end. But having the blessing of my Plexus income gave us a little bit of breathing room and freedom to do what we knew God was calling us to do. And I always say, like, regardless of anything, you always do what God is calling you to do. But when I tell you that having that senior Ruby income was like one less stress marked off the line, right? Senior Ruby income at that time, I was making about 40,000 a year. So that, I mean, that is not gangster money, right? Like, I wasn't a millionaire. I wasn't like, I couldn't pay cash for a house, but it allowed my husband and I to not to have to get outside jobs, to, we're with my parents, so we didn't have a mortgage or rent, to not have to get outside jobs. We had 4 kids, all under 10 in 3 different schools. My mom was in ICU and then rehab and then home with dialysis appointments. And I mean, just constant. And it allowed us to be what we needed to be for our family in that season. And what my big takeaway that I can never talk about my business without sharing is that if you are not willing to work hard for a plan B, it can never become your plan A. If I had not worked to get my son's preschool paid for, I would have never been an opportunity for that to be our only income. And so when you are in those moments of like, this is hard and I don't really need this anyway, I just want to encourage you. Hopefully, your need will not be trauma. Hopefully, it will be something exciting, an exciting opportunity, or something shifts and you're like, whew, I have this backup that can be my plan A. But we never know when those moments are going to come. And having a stable side business that we have built allows us to be able to have options. And I don't know anybody right now that doesn't need some extra side income just to go to the grocery store. So allowing that to be your focus of, okay, I am willing to put in the work so that I can bless my family now, but also have this other plan B moment, right? So the last thing is that was definitely, it sounds beautiful when you say, "Oh, look what we were able to do." It was the hardest season of our life to date, and I hope and pray when I'm 90, I will still say that, because I don't want to have another one like it. And it was beyond losing my mom. I mean, that was horrible. One of the hardest things I've been through, but it was the hardest season in countless ways that weren't connected to Plexus, that weren't connected to my mom. But guys, if you're not aware, when you go through serious stress, which I'm sure you're aware, your body doesn't love it. And so one of my low points in my health journey was it woke up this dormant Lyme disease that had not been impacting my life. And I got to learn how to use Plexus to address autoimmune issues. And so if you are out there and you're like, okay, I'm taking Plexus products, but I'm still struggling, I want to encourage you to dig in and figure out. It doesn't mean that Plexus isn't working. It doesn't mean that, oh, well, this season's done and I need to go somewhere else and figure out something else. Plexus is a tool. And sometimes we have to dial in and figure out, okay, how can I adjust this tool to meet the needs of my body, maybe I can't sit on my rear end all day. Maybe I have to get up and move a little bit. Maybe I need to adjust my food habits. Maybe I need to tweak my supplement regimen. But I want to encourage you that if you've had one journey and something shifts in your health, it doesn't mean your plexus journey is over. It means you have to dig in, learn a little bit, and readjust. And I'm so grateful that I am at 40 years old, totally pharmaceutical free. I deal with Lyme disease and the nastiness that comes with that, with brain fog and joint pain and fatigue and all of that, and I'm able to deal with that naturally because of plexus. And so I want to tell you that there are highs and lows in your health journey and in your business journey, and the lows don't mean you're not going to have another high. It means you have to dig in and do the work to get back up there. And sometimes that work isn't just in our business. Sometimes it's in our health, it's in our habits, it's in our mindset, and it's in all of those things. So I want to talk just a little bit about where we are as a company. I have been telling my team, love their hearts, for a while that I feel like we were on the cusp of momentum. And then when we kicked off April's call, I was like, it has arrived. Like, if you were not aware, there were insane rank ups in March. And so I want to talk a little bit about how do we tap into that? And then how do we not allow ourselves to hit the place of burnout that then we feel like, I'm done. Like, regardless of what we participated in, I'm done. So first of all, I want to tell you, it is not too late. If you are looking around and you are like, all these people ranked up, all these people had big ads, and I don't even know what to do. It is not too late. So like breathe in and be like, let the pressure fall off. Like it is not too late. And really internalize, like it is not too late. My team can be on that leaderboard. Your team can be on that leaderboard, regardless of what March looked like. And so, second thing, and I want you to really like think for a second, how do I feel when I see other people ranking up? Because sometimes our biggest struggle is in our mind. And if when you look at someone else ranking up and you're excited, that means your belief is in the right spot. If you look at someone ranking up and you feel defeated and you feel discouraged and you feel like jealous and you feel disappointed, then most likely that is like a red flashing indicator that you need to work on your belief. Sometimes it's the belief in yourself. If you were like, I don't know enough people, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not skinny enough, I struggle with this health issue that Plexus helps with. Let's say IBS. I struggle with IBS, Plexus helps with IBS. All my people know I struggle with IBS. So how can I talk about plexus? If you are in that place, like I said before, you readjust, you dig deep, you figure out maybe you have an issue with something you're eating and you're like, plexus is a miracle. I'm going to take this plexus and be all good. Plexus is amazing, but it's an amazing tool. So maybe you need to adjust something to keep going, right? But typically those negative feelings associated when someone else is ranking up is an indicator that we need to work on our belief. So belief in the products, belief in the business, belief in yourself. And a lot of times it's that third one. Because when your belief in yourself lines up, you can figure out the other two. Like you can figure out, because guys, everybody, those people ranking up, they have the same products and the same compensation plan. So most likely when we align the areas of issue with belief with ourselves, everything else starts to fall into place. So the third thing on that section is I am a huge fan of Sarah Robbins' phrase that action is the ailment to what, no, action is the cure to what ails your business. So whatever you're struggling with in your business, action is the cure. So when we talk about having a life-giving business, when your business is growing, that's life-giving, right? When a customer tells you, thank you so much for going out of your comfort zone and reaching out to me, because I would have never reached out to you, but I needed this and this is what's happening, blah, 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 blah. That's life-giving, right? But sometimes we need some life-giving moments when those things aren't happening. And so that's what I want to talk about to wrap up what I have to share is how do you enter into a place of a life-giving business to keep yourself, your mindset, your emotions, and all of those things in a place that you want to work, because the action is what's going to cure what ails your business. So my favorite thing is I talk a lot about being a person that adds value. So I did a handful of calls for a few teams about a year and a half ago, and I think Jennifer's was one of them. So maybe you've heard this example, but I talked a lot about being a person that adds value and avoiding burnout in your business. And I shared this example of walking into a baseball game or a basketball game or wherever you walk into crowds of people and looking around and saying, everybody's a prospect, everybody has a gut, everybody needs to poop. Who do I not know? You find somebody, you sit down with them, you strike up a conversation, you add them on social media, they post a dinner recipe, and you're like, girl, that looks so good. Let me have the recipe. Your internet friendship buds, and life goes on. Now, if you aren't doing that, you need to be doing that. If you are not building relationships and bridging the gap on social media, you need to be doing that. But what happens when you do that is you walk in the room and you think, I'm working. Everyone's a prospect. How can I build my business? But let's be real. Anything you did that add income to your paycheck? When you walk into a room and you say, who can I bless? Like, how can I add value in this space? Who don't I know yet that I can interact with? Yes, I'm adding them to my network. Yes, I'm building my business, but who can I interact with? Who can I meet that I can add value? You have the exact same exchange. Nothing changes, but what changes is you're not working. You're being a good person. You're being a nice person. And guys, it doesn't have to be either or. It's not, I'm building my business or I'm being friendly Rachel. You can do both. You can understand I'm being a good person. When I'm telling somebody happy birthday, I'm not building my business. I'm being a nice person. That's not income producing activity if all I ever say is happy birthday, right? You have to bridge the gap between the relationship building and your business, or it never becomes about business, right? But when you look at it as who can I bless? Who can I add value to? Your mindset inside yourself shifts because you walk in the room and you're like, I'm here to bless. I'm here to impact. I'm not here to take. And when you walk in and you say, who's a prospect? You're here to take. And you're here to say, who can help me earn my walking pad? Who can help me get convention credits? And you internalize that and you feel gross. And you feel like this is exhausting and I'm tired of this. And I don't always want to be building my business. And I don't always want to be working. And this is exhausting. When the reality is, you're not building your business. You're just networking. And it's a simple mindset shift because nothing changes in your actions. You do need to be networking, you do need to be meeting people, but it's a mindset shift that gives life. One of my favorite things to do is thank you messages, and you can pick a day of the week and pick 3 people. If you are feeling frustrated in your business, if you're feeling like drained and depleted, pick a day of the week. And on that day of the week, send 3 to 5 thank you messages. And you're going to pick 3 to 5 people and you're going to say thank you for. You're not talking about plexus. You're not talking about gut health or drinking water or anything else. You're going to say, thank you. I love the example of like a kid's teacher. Thank you so much for being so and so's teacher. I love how you impact and bless their day, right? Be genuine. Don't say thank you for something if you don't mean it. But what that does is it lights your emotions up with the fun, exciting, life-giving part of your business. And it reminds you, I'm here to add value. So when then somebody posts about their migraines and you reach out with a solution, you're being the same person you've been all along. You're adding value. You're not showing up to take. You're there to add value in a different way. And they feel like, oh yeah, this is that friend Rachel I met at the basketball game and she gave me that recipe and she did this. And I don't know if Plexus is for me or not, but it's a positive mindset. It's not a, oh my gosh, these Plexus people, they're messaging me. It's a totally different exchange. And so I just want to encourage you guys that momentum has not missed you. Nothing has passed you by. You can absolutely get on this. We are 100% on a wave of growth. You guys, I have been Emerald for 4 years and I am so ready to step into the next season and I can taste it. And I am here for it and I'm going to work and I'm going to do the things, but I want to do it from a place that adds value and blesses people where I feel like, hey, I am being me in a way that's growing my business, blessing my family, and all the things all at once. So I hope I didn't even get to my last page of notes. So hopefully that blessed you guys. I'm so just grateful to have the honor to share with you guys. So thank you so much.
That was so good. So good. Thank you, Rachel, so much. I mean, I took a page of notes for sure. And I just love how, you spoke upon, we never know when this is going to be your plan A. And we spoke upon that this week. We got together with my team and, you know, it can happen so fast and you were not prepared, you know, unless you've got something like this, you know, to back you up. So definitely a blessing there for sure. So Lisa, don't we normally do questions if anybody has a question?
Questions. I just want to say something really quick. So I'm not going to tell you who it is, but there's a diamond who's high up that when I first joined, I never messaged her back. And now she's a diamond. And she's got a pretty big, large team. I don't think even Tamara knows that. But y'all, I every time I see her and her, I'm just like, so you guys follow up. Don't ignore those messages. But does anybody have any questions for Rachel? Any questions? It was so good. So good. I love that mind shift stuff because, yeah, I think everybody can relate to that. So I don't think there's any questions. So Jennifer, if you want to do your giveaway, we have 37 on, so probably 32 if you want to choose a number or if you however you want to do it.
Okay, so we'll just say number 15.
Okay, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Well, I don't know who the Samsung person is. There's a Samsung person on. She's or he. If you're on a Samsung and you don't have your name on here, you're the winner.
Hey, when I count 15, Lisa, I get Debbie Schuper. If you want
Okay.
to go with my 15.
Okay, go with that then. Yeah, go with that. Yeah. So Samsung,
Oh.
go in there and on your Zoom thing, tweak your name. You are. But yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's good, Tamara.
Okay, and I am doing a motivational water bottle. I know how us ladies are. We don't have enough water bottles, do we? So, if Deborah, if she can send me her address, that'll be great.
Perfect. Okay, guys, I'll have the recording. Thank you again, Rachel. Jennifer, that was fantastic. And we'll see you guys next Monday night for another exciting call.
Bye, y'all.